You're watching the Corona Post Show here for the Quiksilver and ROXY Pro G-Land. A very short day, but some big heats decided this afternoon and rippable conditions right out in front. Just closing things out with the Quiksilver Icons of Surf Expression session, and we'll be crowning our champions in that in just a moment. Thanks for being with us, Joe Terpel, Dimity Stoyle, and Richie Lovett. Love your hat.
Thanks, mate.
Always stylish, my friend. Dimity, we got into action. You got to mix it up with some of the surfers today, and it's always tough. The elimination round, we're saying our first goodbyes. How is that feeling this afternoon?
It's always hard saying goodbye, but I feel like this event is just, you know, the least stressful one to lose. I mean, they're on a beautiful island in paradise. They've still got some really fun waves, and they've got a really good tour to look forward to. Really interesting, too, Rich, when you look at the whole race for the WSL Final 5, number 3, 4, and 5 in the world on the women's side of the rankings are out of this contest moving forward.
Well, that just reeks of opportunity for everyone else, doesn't it? It means the top of the ratings is going to open up and there's more points to go up for grabs, and that's a great opportunity. So if I was down a little bit lower on the rankings there, I'd be going, here's an opportunity for me to actually steal some significant points, maybe get a win, and really put myself in a position to make that Final 5.
As we're wishing Tyler Wright a speedy recovery, she had to withdraw from the contest. As we started off with heat number 2 of the elimination round, we've seen this in some pretty heavy heats over the years. Courtney Conlogue versus Johanne Defay. A pretty close battle where it really just felt like Courtney ran out of time at the end, Dim.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, and she just got that slow start, and Joanne, you could tell she'd had a few days off. She was so fired up, and she just felt the energy right from the get-go.
You can tell Joanne's comfort zone when she's over a reef, when it's a left that just keeps on giving. She can just almost go into autopilot mode, feeling those big sections. Obviously, always throwing a lot of power. She really enjoyed her job today, Rich.
Yeah, absolutely. She put this heat together really well. Got off to a very dominant start and kind of had Courtney chasing, but as we'd expect, Courtney came just, you know, powering back with those big off the tops. And this is a very, very strong comeback wave for Courtney. And then, as you said, just the ocean went a little quiet towards the end of this heat and just got, well, she got left needing another wave. But hats off to Joanne. She, you know, constructed that heat well, took advantage of the conditions, got her numbers on the board early, and that was the difference.
Johanne Defay moves on. Solid performance, 7.3, 6.67. And she will have a great time with Stephanie Gilmore in the quarterfinals. Remember, this heat draw is reseeded once again in the quarters on the women's side. And that was the comeback for Conlogue. Just the 7.13. Just needed more time. Another score like her left, and could have really changed the outcome of that heat. Those two are now 4-4 in all-time heats. That's how close it is. Joanne tends to get the nod when it's a running left, so that theme remained the same, Dim.
Yeah, I know. She's just, she's so strong, and she's so natural too. You know, like she knows exactly what turn to do in every section on her backhand. So it's nice we get to see her on the backhand. Another cool clash when you talk about the battle of the backhands. The rookie, Gabrielle Bryan, really pushed Lakey Peterson this afternoon, Rich.
Yeah, that was a really interesting heat, and well, the youngster, she sort of had it all her own way at the start of the heat, and it looked like she was actually going to go on and get the win, but you know, Lakey just came powering back, and this is some of the excellent surfing that we saw from Gabrielle Bryan, just, you know, really committing to those end turns as we started to see the tide run out. But then Lakey, she came back with some just really strong backhand, fast surfing, and that wave there in particular was the comeback wave. And you can see, you know, we're talking about really strong backhand women surfers here, and Lakey in particular, you know, she just pivots so tightly off the lip. And, you know, that's that California upbringing, I guess, those little beach breaks, finding the little back beaches, and you know, she could do well in this comp.
There's a total energy shift when Peterson got that aggressive 6.83, the big two-turn combo. Gabrielle Bryan, though, even though she's out in the elimination round, that rookie is so much fun to watch. She looked like she was bringing the heat. There's a lot of things she's going to be learning this year. Lakey definitely turned things on her when it mattered the most, getting a spot into the quarters. Lakey's now standing by with Laura.
Lakey, saying there were some nervous moments there, you know, coming off your results in Australia, but it must have felt so amazing to get that critical turn in on that last wave.
Yeah, for sure. It was a hard heat. It's been just a tough week to mentally stay in it and, yeah, stay excited. And the waves were tricky, and Gabby's been on fire. So it's just nice to make it through that heat. I didn't do too well in Australia and haven't been making heat, so it just felt good to get some momentum. I think hindsight, I'm happy I actually got eliminated and had to surf that round just to get a little bit more comfortable out there. And yeah, it felt really good to finally just loosen up in the end.
And we were saying, you know, it's been a big few days here, not many waves on offer, but how have you stayed in the zone?
Yeah, not many waves on offer, but still little waves to kind of get wet every day. And then my husband's here with me, so I'm lucky that I have him to kind of just hang out with and do stuff with. We've been watching a lot of Stranger Things. But yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful place. I've never been to G-Land either, so just getting to explore the area has been really cool. And yeah, it's nice to get things going again.
Thanks, Lakey. Into the next round. Congratulations.
Awesome. And I just want to say happy birthday to Beck, watching back home. Love you.
Happy birthday, Beck.
What a special present to Beck. Heat win for Lakey Peterson, looking very aggressive, checking out the final series already. Love this condensed format. Lakey Peterson has a battle with Tatiana Weston-Webb in quarter two. How about the veteran seat at the top? Carissa Moore, Sally Fitzgibbons, #1 in the world. Brisa Hennessy has the ROXY wildcard, Bronte Macaulay. And then Johanne Defay, Steph Gilmore, rematch of that first match we had last year down at the Rip Curl WSL Finals at Lower Trestles. What is your heat to watch, Dimity?
Oh my gosh, they're all so good. It's I'd have to go with, I'd love to see Brisa and Bronte, you know. Bronte didn't get to surf today, unfortunately, but I know she was, yeah, she would have loved to have a 35-minute heat out there by herself.
And I like that you brought that one up, because as we know, Rich, wild cards can be devastating for world title runs. That's always the case. And with that reseed happening in the quarters, that's why we're seeing #1 in the world take on the wild card.
Yeah, absolutely. The wild cards, well, they're called wild cards for a reason, because they're wild and we don't know what they're going to do. But, you know, in this case, the wild cards are going to bring some really good, solid surfing, and they're going to push the higher seed. Interesting there. Besides the top quarterfinal, it's a goofy foot versus natural foot matchup, the second, third and fourth quarterfinals there, so that's a point of interest as well. We're going to see a backside attack versus a frontside attack, and that's always interesting.
One of our favorite parts of the day is we talk about the ROXY OMG Land Award. Obviously, we've already had one day of competition. Feels like a long time ago, but we've got to congratulate this goofy foot named Tatiana Weston-Webb for winning the day. We want to see commitment, emotion. It could be a wipeout, but what an incredible day it was for Tati in a hollow cave at G-Land.
Oh, look at the conditions turning on for her. You know, she's been waiting so long to surf a dreamy left-hander, and she just capitalized, getting the barrel of the day.
So happy for Tatiana, winning some cash with that performance on opening day. And now heading into today's nominees, Johanne Defay, her 7-3 on a really tidy backhand combination versus Sally Fitzgibbons on her 6.0, Rich.
Yeah, this is going to be a tight one. Both two really good rides here, but this was Sally. She sort of started to stretch out in this heat, really committed final turn on both of those waves. So I think we're splitting hairs for this one.
Pretty exciting having those nominations. Dimity, who are you leaning towards on that? Sally 6 or Joanne 7-3?
I can't go past Joanne, you know. Yeah. Even I was down in the camp here, and all the boys were watching that heat. And when Joanne landed that turn, you know, she got the reverb from the whitewash, and they were just like screaming, you know, how did she not break her ankle or a knee? She just had so much power to push through, and it was exciting.
Check out WSL, at WSL on Instagram for the winner of today, Joanne or Sally. Let us know your opinion as well. Also follow at ROXY as well to find out the champion of the ROXY OMG Land Award. Well, we had a long wait to finally get competition. It was just a few heats, a very quick afternoon. But we know that we're getting into the end of the waiting period, and maybe some fun surf coming around the corner as we bring up the Surfline forecast. Rich, is it game on tomorrow?
I think it's going to be game on tomorrow. I think this swell's going to fill in overnight, and we're going to see some really fun waves over the next couple of days, in fact. And the good news is that the wind is going to be favourable as well. We're going to see it go round to that more southeasterly trade direction. And as we look ahead, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you can see we've got sort of 4 to 6 range, which is going to translate to kind of overhead, head-high waves. But again, that offshore condition, look at it all the way through. So, and the special thing is normally you have to wait for the wind to swing and go offshore, but we're going to have offshore conditions from first light tomorrow. So that's a plus, and the waves are going to turn up. So an exciting finish.
Once again, thanks for all the viewers hanging in there with us through all those holds. You know, for the last few days, I feel like we're getting down to the best part of the window. Real clean conditions, should be incredibly fun with the elimination round still on deck for the men. That's Felipe versus Yago when that one gets underway. Let's take a moment to learn more about WSL's We Are One Ocean campaign.
So when it rains or whenever the plastic flows down the river, these barriers stop the plastic from going over. The crew from Sungai Watch go and they collect the plastic and they recycle the plastic.
We Are One Ocean is a WSL initiative to inspire the global surf community to protect and conserve our one ocean. At the Quiksilver ROXY Pro G-Land, we're joining forces with Quiksilver, ROXY, Corona, and Shiseido, and partnering with local organizations to give back to the community and preserve the vital ecosystems around the event location.
Across Indonesia, there's a massive problem with plastics. What we're doing is working with the Surf Conservation Partnership and Conservation Indonesia and the surf camps and the park to allow for local recycling. You can take plastic off the beach, use these machines that we've brought, and create useful products. And that creates a model of comprehensive surf ecosystem conservation that can be exported throughout Indonesia and throughout the rest of the world.
So here we are. This is the spot of the tree planting.
Really cool, really honored.
Maybe one day I can even bring my kids here and show them the tree that I planted.
There are so many areas across Indonesia where great surfing and irreplaceable biodiversity overlap. Our vision is for surfing to be a significant force for expanding conservation of large ecosystems all across Indonesia.
At Sungai Watch, we're on a mission to stop plastic from going into the ocean by installing these very simple barriers in as many rivers as possible.
So basically the barrier is going to be floating. All the plastic is going to get stuck on the barrier. It's simple and it brings a lot of results.
We're really excited to be partnering with the WSL Pure and Corona to place 20 barriers throughout South Banyuwangi to protect the wave in the future, to make sure that there's no more plastics coming to G-Land. Plastic pollution is forever spreading, so we need to clean our rivers if we want to clean the ocean.
We got to take care of our environment. We got to take care of the world. So it's awesome to see big brands coming up like the WSL Corona. Because if everybody does a little bit, it's gonna be big.
I came out today to support this initiative that WSL Pure, Corona, and Sungai Watch has put together. It's super exciting for me to work with brands that are committed to our environmental impact and cleaning our oceans and cleaning our rivers. I think it's really important, especially for us as surfers.
So the mission of Sea Trees is incredibly simple. It's to protect, restore, and regenerate coastal ecosystems all around the world. We're a proud partner of the WSL's We Are One Ocean Coalition. The support that we've gotten from Quiksilver and ROXY to be able to launch new projects has been immense. And we're extremely excited to be able to present the work that we're doing throughout Indonesia to the audience that's going to be tuning in to the Quiksilver ROXY Pro at G-Land. We've got multiple Sea Trees projects throughout Indonesia, whether it's planting mangroves in the Papua region or restoring coral reefs in Bali, and everything in between. So surfers can help by getting interested and engaged with the solutions that are at their fingertips.
I'm really happy to be part of it, to be helping and learning, and it's a long process, but we've got to start somewhere.
I think it's really important to show how us surfers also respect and care for the places that we go to, and we want to give back as well.
All Find out more information at weareoneocean.org. And I'm just loving the impact of all these activations, not just one, but several that are giving back to a place that we love so much, the ocean, so it stays beautiful for multiple generations. The plastic crisis is pretty obvious when you come to this part of the world, and it's great to really acknowledge that, look at that problem, and really go straight into action, Dimity. I'm loving how that feels.
Yeah, it's cool. It is a problem that can be reversible too, which is really nice.
Yeah, and it's great just to be able to openly talk about those problems and find those solutions. And all these competitors on tour, they're taking their time in the middle of preparing for big events, and all of them put their hand up to participate.
Yeah, well, they're surfers are basically custodians of the ocean. We need to look after it. It's their office, and it's our office. So, we go to so many beautiful and remote locations, and if there's something we can do and give back, then the surfers are the first to put up their hands, and it's, like I said, if we all do a little bit, it's going to turn into a lot, and it's important that we really commit to it.
Well, we just finished up the day with the Quiksilver Iconic for a Reason expression session. Time to give away some boards to our winners. Take it away, Laura.
Yes, down here with our winners, Felipe, on the beautiful Terry Fitz. How was it, Felipe?
It was awesome. First I was scared to ride it because it's big, it's thick, and it's heavy. And it's super low tidal there. I was like, oh, it's going to be sketchy to ride on this wave. It's going super fast. But it ended up going faster than the wave, and yeah, it worked out really good. I loved it.
Any room in the ball cover for this bad boy?
Hell yes, hell yes. There's always room.
And is it going to go on the wall? Are you going to try ride it at Ulus or anywhere else around the world?
I'll just put it on the wall for now, and then maybe when it's, big lowers or something like that, or maybe back home in Brazil. I don't know. We'll see.
Absolutely amazing. The Terry Fitz and Carissa Moore over here on the Simon Anderson, absolutely shredding Dallas. How was it?
It was so much fun. I have never ridden one of his shapes before, and I don't really ride anything other than Matt most of the time, so it was cool to mix things up. And obviously all of the shapers are legends and part of history of our sport, so it was really cool just to paddle out with my peers and have a really good time and learn a little bit and reconnect with the roots.
Absolutely amazing, guys. Oh, well, hide them, because I know Dimity wants to steal them both. And, yeah, get them home nice and safe. Dimity, we might get the decks down here for another little party.
Yep,
Joking.
they're ready to go.
What a cool moment. And how fun is that? Man. Not only winning on those boards, but they get to take them home. That's that classic Simon Anderson thruster that was introduced back in '81, working in all conditions that changed everything. And Terry Fitz, what a legend. What's something that he rode probably back in 1976 in this region. A lot of surfers wanted to be a part of that heat. It's definitely one of the favorites to watch. Dimity, is there going to be some bartering going on? Are you going to be able to get one of those boards to take home?
I don't know about that. And the surfers, there wasn't enough boards for the number of surfers. They all wanted to be in that heat. And you can see why, because those boards are just artwork.
Heck. Well, Rich, if you could pick one, which one would you take home?
Well, I've already got an MR, so yeah, maybe the Simon Anderson or that Terry Fitz one is pretty special. I just love that it had the airbrush on the bottom as well. That's a bit of a trademark of Terry's board. So, yes, there's some classics in there for sure.
So classic. It's time on the Corona Post Show for the Daily Top 5. Coming in at number 5 on the list, a surfer from Santa Ana, California. Put herself in a position to compete after what was kind of a slow start to the matchup against Johanne Defay. This was the big comeback wave for Courtney, getting a 7-1-3, Dim.
Yeah, and this was so exciting. It was part of that heat where, we've had 3 or 4 days off in a row and everyone was just itching to see surfing again, and everyone loved this. It was like, the heat is on now.
Pretty special to see that backhand in motion as we go to number 4 on the top 5, Lakey Peterson. Big comeback to win this heat, Rich.
Yeah, it was great to see Lakey just absorb that pressure and then just come out firing on this particular wave and that final turn there, possibly the turn of the day. And Lakey with that kind of trademark backhand hook right there, just so pivotal. Just gets so tight in the pocket, and she sort of found it after that one wave, and then she started to build. You could see the confidence just oozing. And it was a real high-pressure situation. She came out on top.
Number 3 on the top 5, the injury replacement wild card for Caroline Marks. The veteran, Sally Fitzgibbons, shuts things down this afternoon.
Yeah, it's so cool. And just her backhand's so tight. I love the way she can just go back to back and upside down. So she's going to be a real threat this week. So
Got her best wave on her last wave. Already had the victory at that stage as she is running right into the quarters against Carissa. Number 2 on the top 5, the 2-turn combo from Johanne Defay.
Yeah, it was a very clinical performance in that Joanne just, got the best waves of the start of that heat, found these little corners, and that just ran down the reef, and Joanne just really precise style of surfing here. Sort of born and bred off that Reunion Island St. Lou break. You can just see that she's going to be a threat on the backhand here all week.
So solid. She's had quarterfinals all year. She's ready to break that quarter streak and get a bit further in the event. Number 1 on our top 5 of the day was honoring so many heroes, so many amazing boards that are part of G-Land history as well. The Quiksilver iconic for a reason expression session was definitely a treat to finish off the day with.
Yeah, it's so cool, and we haven't seen these surfers on boards like this in such a long time, and it was just such a treat to watch them surf with a different style and different approach.
Yeah, really fun to see them having to change their stance on some of these bigger boards. Felipe said he was a little worried about the weight, with this tight turnaround to the shallow reef, but he managed quite well, Rich.
Yeah, he did, and on such a big board compared to what he'd be used to. That was the barrel from Kaio. I think out of all the boards, Kaio probably controlled his the best and really dominated the board and got it turning true to the rail. They were all just channeling and feeling the board, and it's not an easy thing to do to work something out like that so quick. And the other thing too, none of these boards have tail pads, and they all normally you would be used to riding a tail pad. So a couple of adjustments needed to be made, but this one here, there was shades of TF in this for sure.
That looks so cool. I feel like Felipe got more comfort throughout this heat.
Yeah, look at him dancing on the board, just moving up and down, up to get speed, back onto the tail to rip into big turns, and then, it's just such a, he's looking iconic on the Terry Fitz.
And nice little flow to ride his way all the way to the inside, winning these boards to take home with them. And
where we go?
Can't wait to see them ride it again. Job well done to Felipe and Chris Samore. They didn't have to surf heats today in the Championship Tour event. They're already set up in the next round. Felipe Toledo does have a wild card named Yago Dora when we do get back underway. Rich, are you thinking world number 1's going to have his hands full when we get the contest back on?
It's definitely going to be a serious heat for him. And, we know what Yago's capable of. He's actually, one of the guys that belongs on tour. So some of his performances last year in particular in Australia were mind-blowing on some of those left-handers. My mind's kind of going back to Rottnest Island. So, I feel like, he was really in tune on the opening day. Yago had some great rides, so I think Felipe is going to have his hands full there.
And yes, that foot injury that kept him sidelined looked in the free surf that he's feeling better and better each and every day that he's putting it in the water. Another heat on the men's side that we're looking forward to, Dim. Kolohe Andino, Nat Young, all California battle. How's that one going to play out?
Oh, I can't wait to watch that. And they've just been vibing every day, hanging out here at the camp. And, they're so competitive in and out of the water. That's going to be an exciting heat.
Pretty exciting. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll leave you with the highlights and join us first thing tomorrow morning for the call. Take care.
It's a good day. Banyuwangi, Indonesia. Great to be back here in the jungle, in the national park, as our competitors get set to hit G-Land once again.
We're going to have this women's elimination round in the water, and then we have the expression session.
I'm finally breathing, I feel the fresh air. Johanne Defay, she's found a bit of a corner here. Nice little swoop off the top.
Nice and crisp, and the second.
If life is a beach, I'll see you out there. Whoa, sending my clothes, I don't care. Sending plenty of spray off the rail. Life's great, nothing gets better than this. All the best things keep happening.
Oh, building started to shake then.
It's Sally Fitzgibbons, jams it vertically.
It's a good day. Whoa, it's a good morning.
World number 4, Isabella Nichols.
Got the sun on my face. Whoa, it's a beautiful moment. So I think I'll dive right in. It's a perfect.
Lakey Peterson from Santa Barbara, California, float to start. Deeper off the bottom, crushes a big section. Gabrielle Bryan's got an answer. Nice open wall, second turn. She's got that solid jam, vertical climb, and she stays on her feet.
My car, zip my favorite good place. It's a good, good day.
It'll be the Quiksilver Icons of Surf Expression session.
Steph Gilmore got the Jerry Lopez in your hot little hands.
Oh, it looks like Kaya.
Sam Egan. Yes, Sam Egan.
It's a beautiful morning to say hello. I got the sunshine in a bottle. I'm not worried about tomorrow. Sitting under orange trees.
We see coming out of the barrel, Kaya.
I can walk on water. Nothing ever gives me bother. Got no problem, got no plans. Just the whole world in my hands. Life's great, nothing gets better than this. All the best things keep happening.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.